So if you don't know already, Valve operates super strangely compared to other companies. It has no managers, the average salary per each employee is $1.3 million, and every Valve employee chooses which products they want to work on. This does not mean there is zero oversight, by the way. Who receives raises and who is fired is determined by peer review, with senior employees' reviews of their coworkers receiving a higher portion of impact. Basically, all you need to know though is that Valve only hires the best of the best. They also have the highest revenue per employee of any company on the planet, with 50 million in revenue per employee. So why is Valve hiring TF2 modders? TF2's recent development has been tumultuous, to say the least. Valve basically threw their hands up at the community, taunting them, not doing any updates in decades. Basically, the TF2 community said, just let us make our own updates, and Valve actually let them. From there, a ton of hidden talent has been found, and the first major community update actually led to TF2 seeing its highest concurrent player counts in June of 2023. 16 years after release. So why has Valve been hiring TF2 modders? It's because our community has a ton of hidden talent, and Valve's next big move is actually making games again. Now, normally, if you wanted to have your company focus on a new directive, you'd just tell the managers to make the workforce focus on that. That doesn't work at Valve, and most of the senior employees are working on other projects like brain-computer interfacing. I don't care how interesting your gaming project is, it's not more interesting than an invention that could literally turn humans into superhuman cyborgs. So the obvious solution, if you want TF2 to be developed again, hire people who are likely to decide on their own to work on Team Fortress. But why isn't TF2 getting any updates then? Well, that's really simple. Valve hired a ton of the good community developers, which has brought TF2 development to a screeching halt. And those TF2 modders decided to work on a more exciting project than TF2. And no, that project isn't brain chips, luckily. It's a Source 2 TF2 port. TF2's codebase is a dumpster fire. It's been in development since 1998. That's longer than I've been alive, and I'm married with 2 kids now. So they are solving that first before they get to anything else, which you do in the same way as a CSGO to a Counter-Strike 2 did. You recode the entire game in a newer, better engine. Now, some people are calling this TF3, some are calling it TF2 Source 2, but I don't really care what they call it. I care that we will actively be getting updates again, and I care that we are going to be back on top of the hero shooters. No more of this slop hero shooter nonsense like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch. We need to put them back in the ground where they belong. And we have even more evidence supporting this. Deadlock has a few lines of code calling on a Source 2 project codenamed TF. If you think that's anything other than a TF3 or TF2 Source 2 port, I think you're crazy. If that isn't enough to show you this is happening, let's look at the Source 2 importer tool, which imports assets from Source 1 to Source 2. Why would Valve be updating the tool so that it can import assets that are specifically only used by TF2? Garage doors, resupply cabinets, etc. There is no answer that makes sense other than they are porting TF2 maps over to Source 2, which would only be done for a Source 2 Team Fortress game. Do you guys remember as well when the community was working on a Source 2 TF2 port? Whatever happened to that? Oh yeah, they fell off the face of the planet. Why'd that happen? I wonder, But anyways, that's just what one crazy TF2 YouTuber thinks. Let me know what you think in the comments below.